Alright, yo, what's up? I'm back, and you already know, God of War Part 3. And, you know, I was gonna do the experiment video, but then I was like, nah, the story, this is gonna be like a big story for it, so I might as well just come up with God of War Part 3 since a lot of people are asking for it. So, yeah, I guess grab your drinks because I already got mine. Like, lemonade this time, so it's gonna be good, but yeah, let's just get into it. So last part I left off, I'm pretty sure Deku got finished with his entrance exam. So a week goes by and Deku goes to UA. So when he walks in the entrance of like the school, the students stare at him because everyone at this point they know who Deku is. Because he's just known as like the one with like the tattoo and the blades, the God of War. So when Deku walks in the door to 1A, he sees Ida yelling at Bakugo for his feet on the desk because Bakugo doesn't care. And when Ida sees Deku, he instantly goes to sit down in his desk because Ida ain't trying to get that life. Like he ain't about that. He ain't about to go to sleep or night night or nothing. So Deku just sits down and looks at his blades for a bit. And Uraraka goes up to Deku and tries to talk to him like in a polite way. But when Deku doesn't respond, she slams her hand on the desk. And Deku looks up at her and asks like, "What does she want?" Uraraka says like she thanks him for saving her, and Deku says like she was just lucky enough to be in his view and to not slam her hand down again. And I'm gonna say Uraraka then gets annoyed and yells at Deku like basically saying like, when was the last time he took a shower because he smells like rotten eggs. As you can see, Uraraka is like she different. But Deku looks at her and tells her she doesn't want this fight. So she laughs and asks like what's he gonna do about it. So Deku just gives off a small bit of Spartan rage aura because he got the orange and greenish like aura around him. And Uraraka just asks like why is he showing her his nightlight? Bro, yeah. um So yeah, Deku at this point, like his aura is getting larger, bro, and he pulls out his blades. Like, actually, no, wait, he already. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just say like he grabs his blades, and bro, I might as well just Uraraka fake cries, telling Deku to not hurt her with his with the butter knives in his hands. So Deku just decides to just ignore her and looks at his blades again. So he realizes that they're starting to show gold marks on the actual blades and the grips. And if you play God of War 4, then you know what that means. Like they're basically like upgrading is what's going on. And Uraraka just goes to her seat because of Aizawa, but Aizawa tells him to, get dressed and go outside. So Deku he puts his blades away on his back and heads to the changing room. And when he makes it there, he changes and Kirishima asks like how he got so buff and how he got like a tattoo and the scar. He's just basically, dude, this dude's like doing an interview with this boy. So yeah, I'm gonna say I think I already said it, but Deku has like the God of War 3 Kratos like body build style. So Deku's ripped. And Deku says like, "Oh yeah, that's just training, and he was born with a tattoo and the scar. Don't ask about it." Bakio like, Bakio when he's changing, he smirks like secretly with when like the scar gets brought up because Bakio is the one who caused it, and Todoroki looks at Deku and thinks that what, I can still beat him even though he's like basically named the God of War. I can still beat him. So Deku, he walks out and waits outside for everyone else. And when everyone else gets there, he tells Deku, like, Baku, blah, blah, blah. Aizawa tells Deku to throw the ball because he got first. So Baku gets annoyed that he did get first. And Deku, when he throws the ball, he gets, I'm a, bro, random number, 5,420 meters. And Bakio, he tries to think of how he can beat it and uses one for all when he goes up. So when he throws the ball, he uses his explosions his overall strength and 50% of one for all. And you would think that would be like a lot, but he only gets 4,867 meters. So, it gets Bakugo a bit more annoyed because he knows like Deku wasn't going like full strength as well. But Deku, he got first for everything but the ball throw because of Uraraka's infinity. And the next day, All Might reaches the class and they get excited, but Bakugo and Deku, bro, they didn't say anything. Bro, the rabbit's scratching at my door. We got a rabbit and he's basically a dog. He's just scratching at my door. Here, hold on. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I had to like feed the rabbit because he was basically just walking. He was walking towards his food, like his food bag, and I was like, "Dang, this dude really is trying to ask me for food." But yeah, hold on, I gotta take a drink. You guys better take your drink too, bro. I haven't had lemonade in a while, but yeah, let me continue on. So, All Might tells the class like they're gonna end up fighting each other. So that's when Bakugo gives a quick like ha, like just like and Deku he gives off like an interested expression like okay, yeah, go on. And All Might tells them to get suited up. I'm gonna say in this one Deku's costume is God of War 4 Kratos's. So like the picture essentially. And yeah, so Deku, I'm gonna say for his for his attachments, I'm gonna say he does have the shield gauntlet and the Hermes boots, the boots of Hermes. And the boots, yeah, the boots of Hermes. I'm gonna say like the boots they make Deku go faster and they give him a better grip on the ground to like throw his blades or something like that. And they get into teams and Deku and Bakugo are against each other. I'm gonna say on purpose because All Might's like, yeah, you guys are gonna fight each other. So Deku gets prepared, pulling out his blades, and you already know Uraraka. Uraraka looks at Deku, telling him he looks like a caveman holding his fighting stick with that outfit. Bro, she's just like going at him the entire time, and it works. So Deku just looks at her and says like she better shut up or he'll use his blades on her. So Uraraka says like she can cause more damage than those dull paper mache paper cutters, which I don't know. She's like, if I was like Kratos, which I mean yeah, if I was Deku, bro, I would be nah, it would be done right before it even started. But Deku Deku's about to like throw a punch, but then remembers like if he does anything, he'll be talked like down upon because he's still trying to be like a hero, so he don't want that on his resume. But he just surrounds his blades and fire and walks in. So Deku leads the way and sees Bakugo like standing ready to fight, and I'm gonna say Deku tells Uraraka to find the bomb while he takes on Bakugo. She leaves, basically flipping him off and like telling him to lose, and Deku just dashes towards Bakugo. So they start to fight, and Bakugo has like a custom sword as like a support item to go against Deku's blades, which it works, but Deku uses the boots to dash out of his attack and gets in a stance to slash at Bakugo. Bakugo deflects it and counters, but Deku uses his shield on his gauntlet to deflect the attack, and Deku just backs off. And I'm gonna say Deku then takes out one of his blades and wraps it around Bakugo's leg, like not cutting it off, but wrapping the chain around him. So Deku pulls the blade back towards him, and Bakugo is attached to it. So of course, like he gets flung towards Deku, but then he just punches Bakugo through two pillars. So basically, he just did like a scorpion get over here type of move. And Bakugo gets up, running at Deku with explosions, but the class is surprised on how they can both take so much. Like, yo, I'm pretty sure the class is like looking at Bakugo like, yo, like he can go against Deku. Like, I'm pretty sure none of us can. So Bakugo lands two slices on Deku with his sword, and it hits him in the side. Like he hits him in the side with like an explosion. And Deku starts to use a bit of Spartan Rage to go against Bakugo, and Bakugo responds from going 20% of One for All to 28% because he needs to use a lot against Deku. But I want to say Deku does another punch with Spartan Rage and sends Bakugo through a wall. This time, yeah, okay, I'm gonna just end it. Yeah, this time it knocks him out. I was trying to think if I can like make it longer, but nah, he just gets knocked out. He go night night. But okay, yeah, okay, I need to stop. But Deku then tries to meet up with Uraraka and get the bomb. Deku finds her and like he steps into the room before she says anything, like because he ain't trying to deal with that, and sees Ida trembling. Deku starts to get mad, yelling at Ida to like be a man and fight. But Ida decides, it makes Ida decide to fight and does an attack. But Deku just uses his shield to deflect it and repelled it, attacking Ida after he deflected it. So he does in his head he does like a small punch. So he punches Ida through like a single pillar, like Bakugo, but Ida's already knocked out, and Deku just looks at his unconscious body and says like that people are really not a challenge anymore. So that when Nodoraka hears that, she says like, "Yo, she has bigger dick energy than all of them inside the room." But okay, yeah. Oh, jeez, I love it. Nah, but yeah, she has bigger energy than everyone combined inside the class. But she then like touches the bomb, and they both win. With Bakugo and Ida going to the nurse's office, and a few days later, the students are told like they're going to the USJ. So they take the bus, and Deku sits back like closing his eyes. And I'm gonna go ahead and say Sue decides to speak up, and ask why Deku's outfit is showing off like his skin and vulnerable hit points. And Deku opens his eyes and says like he likes it and it makes him feel like a true fighter. So the other students, because they're suck ups, they say like, oh, it does make him look more like a warrior from like movies or something. Like I'm gonna say like they resemble it like a Spartan from 300. If you know what that movie is, it's like, yeah, I forgot the actual name of it. It might just be 300, but it's like a story of Spartans and all that. But Uraraka speaks up, of course, and says he looks like a role model for all the gay strippers. And oof. Everyone in the bus just looks at her like terrified and think she messed up. But Deku just goes while closing his eyes again. And after he does that, like everyone inside the bus is like, "Well, wait a minute. So you're telling me if I were to do that, you would kill me?" But okay, yeah, we're just gonna skip past that. But when they arrive, Deku doesn't pay attention to 13's speech because he knows something's up. And as he's thinking that, like Bakugo walks up to Deku and asks like if he feels the same thing, and Deku nods and says that they should both be on guard because they're both goats, and they're gonna throw some hands. But yeah, so a bit later the villains show up, and instantly Bakugo and Deku just charge right at them, and Deku takes down half of them in a second, while Bakugo takes down the other half. Hold on, wait, I need to take another drink. Yada. Drinks. I can't close the cap. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it. But alright, yeah. Where was he at? I already forgot. That's cool. Okay, wait. What was I talking about? I was talking about they charge the enemies. Bakugo takes the yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Aizawa is still like processing what's happening and tells 13 to protect the students. And Aizawa tells Bakugo and Deku to like fall back, but Deku he just glares at Aizawa, and Aizawa looks at Deku and nods, saying like he understands. Deku is basically saying, "Back off, we clearly got this." So when Shigaraki appears through the portal, he thought the goons would be attacking already, but they ain't. So he sees them being destroyed by two students, and they both look at him. And I'm gonna say like when they do look at him, Shigaraki like at first he does like shiver up a bit, but he just puts it off. So Deku tries to dash towards Shigaraki, but the Nomu appears, blocking the attack. I'm gonna say the Nomu, bro, he still got sent back like 10 feet at least. So Deku questions it and yelled at Shigaraki, like asking what it was. So Shigaraki explains everything about the Nomu because he's an idiot. So he names off all the quirks and everything. And then Shigaraki says like he's going to kill All Might today with the Nomu. And when Deku heard that, he felt a bit of rage. And I'm gonna say so did Bakio because they both do like hang out with All Might a lot, especially during the training. So Deku, you already know he let off a war cry, scaring at Shigaraki. That was laughing, and then Deku went into Spartan Rage, creating the orange and green highlighted aura. And Deku he pushed back one of the arms that was trying to attack him, like from the Nomu, pulls out one of his blades, headlocks the Nomu, and stabs it in the mouth. Which you already know that's one of Kratos's like classic type of things from like the previous God of War games. But yeah, so he just stabs it through the mouth, and yeah, I was gonna say something else. What was I wanting to say? I might as well just continue. So the Nomu was still alive, and Deku just graves his other blade and slides it through the middle of his body, and then he like stabs it in the brain. So it fell to the ground, and it didn't get back up because it's dead. But Deku looks up facing Shigaraki and asks like if he was serious about the Nomu. Shigaraki at this point he gets angry and dashes at Deku, like trying to grab him with his quirk. But Deku, he's smart. So Deku's blades were like surrounded by fire, and Deku just moves out of the way, like dodging his attack, and Deku just grabs Shigaraki's arm instead and cuts it off clean with his blade. He cuts off his specifically I'll cut off his left arm. And Shigaraki, you already know, he has to scream in pain as Kirigiri teleported them away, including his arm as well. And no one's seen Deku cut Shigaraki's arm except for Bakugo and Aizawa because the others got teleported away, of course. And Deku got mad at the fact that they got away. So All Might shows up. And I'm gonna say like it was only All Might because Ida didn't decide to run out and get help because he's an idiot and has to listen to Deku for some reason. But yeah, so All Might was the one who shows up, and he sees Deku with his blades covered in blood. So he runs up. Oh, he also sees the Nomu, but he runs up and asks like what happened to Deku, and Deku told All Might what happened, but he did leave out the part with the arm. So All Might then asked about like the blood on his blades and the Nomu, but Deku didn't just I can't speak. Yeah. Mm, yeah, so Deku just rather not say and put his blades away, frustrated. And everyone regrouped, but Bakugo and Aizawa, they said nothing about what happened to Shigaraki. Because Bakugo, he's like, nah, I ain't like trying to get into a fight yet. And Aizawa's like, nah, I'm smart enough to not mess around with that. So you know the police arrive and they tried to find out what happened, and later it was announced that UA went on break to make sure everything was like safe and secure around there. And I think I'm gonna leave it off there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it off there. So yeah, I'm gonna make it clear, Uraraka is a mad thing in this one. She's a mad thing, but and someone gave me an idea in the comments. I'm gonna say, shoot, what was her name? I think it was like the tiny, no, because it was TINI gamer. I forgot the name, but I'm pretty sure it was like the something gamer. So, yo, thanks for the idea of Uraraka, but he was. They said like, oh yeah, like give an idea like to ship Deku with someone feisty, and I was like, shoot, man, I'm basic because I can't think of anyone else to ship with Deku. If you wanted to, like, you could let me know who you want me to ship with Deku, but I'm gonna just choose Uraraka because it was the first person who popped up, and because yeah, it just makes sense, and I gave her personality that I experienced firsthand, so yeah, everything that was basically said in this one by Uraraka, I experienced that. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave it off there. And of course, if you guys liked it, let me know. If you guys didn't like it, let me know why. And outro. Oof. Make sure you guys throw away your drinks when you're done with it. And see you guys in the next one. Remember, don't be an Ida, and peace out.